I currently own over 50 keyboards, from 40% to full size, Topra to Alps to Ortho to Split. If you name it, I've probably got it or tried it at some point on my journey down the rabbit hole. But in the years I've spent in the hobby, it's pretty rare to find a board that makes me fall in love at first key press. This is the Meletrix Zoom 75, and there are quite a few reasons you should consider this as your next board. So let's talk about it right after you fall in love with pressing that like button. First off, who is Meletrix? They're a sub-brand of Wuque Studios, who is a Chinese studio that started in late 2020 with the mission of bringing high-quality boards at a relatively affordable price with releases like the Icky 68, the Mammoth 75, and the Promise TKL. One question I had was, why start a sub-brand? We saw it with Acco and Monsgeek as well, but from this Reddit post I found, the goal of the Meletrix brand was to offer high-quality pre-builts for the entry level. Ironically, the Zoom 75 doesn't have the option to bundle with switches and keycaps, but you'll have no shortage of options either buying from Meletrix directly or from this impressive list of third-party vendors. Getting back to the board, the Zoom 75 is a gasket-mounted 75% with a listed 20.14mm front height and a typing angle of 5%. I measured the front height with feet at approximately 22.13mm and the back height at roughly 36mm. The board comes in this pretty cool box with a matching carrying case, and in the box you've got a coiled USB cable, gasket sleeves, a set of Wuque Studio V3 stabilizers, pour-on foam, and the board itself. Today we're looking at the board in black, which has a nice matte finish, as well as the optional black PVD back weight and an optional internal weight. This board is way heavier than I expected, with a full build weighing in at 6 pounds. Before we go any further, let's take a listen to the board and its stock configuration with a polycarbonate plate, with all case foams added and the new Wuque Studio morandi linears. Keycaps are GMK deepwell. Here we go. With all the foams added, the board has that marbly sound signature that was popularized by the Jelly Epoch? And I was really surprised at how good this board sounded for the price. While the PE foam does shape the sound, the overall fit and finish makes this board feel like an endgame 75%. In the comments for previous reviews, I got requests for sound tests with different keycaps, so take a listen to the board with the Wuque Studio black on white keycaps, which are double shot PBT. On a side note, WS keycaps are an insane value because you get compatibility for literally every layout for just $80 compared to over $200 for GMK black on white, and the double shot PBT means you get the benefits of double shot ABS without the shine. Here's the sound test. If you're chasing that thought, it's common knowledge that PBT keycaps are the way to go. And while it was a little too low-pitched for my taste, at the end of the day, it's all about the P word. Please subscribe. Shameless plug aside, it's all about preference in this hobby, and while I personally enjoy a clacky sound signature more, the board as built with all the foams sounds pretty nice. And it's a pleasure to type on while being muted enough that I wouldn't feel bad about taking it to the office. So now it's time for the good, the bad, and the ugly. First, the good. Pricing will vary based on your configuration, but at the end of the day, the board will range from $179 for the Essential Edition to $249 for the Special Editions, with a whole list of add-ons you can buy to customize the look and sound of the board. As you see and hear the board here, with the LCD screen, the PVD external and internal stainless steel weights, the board costs $253 on their website. To put that price in perspective, this is the Primus 75 by Nexus Project, which ran in mid-2020, and with the stainless steel bottom upgrade, it cost $545 before shipping. and that price point isn't uncommon even these days for an aluminum custom keyboard. For example, a similarly spec'd Mode Sonnet, which is an in-stock 75%, costs about $474. I'll say this before and I'll say it again, but this is the best time to be getting into mechanical keyboards. And it's because of companies like Wuque Studios and Meletrix raising the bar for quality while lowering the price for entry. Now that's not to say the board doesn't have its flaws. It's clear that Meletrix and Wuque Studios wants to reach as wide of a market as possible, so the Zoom 75 offers both ANSI and ISO support on the same hot swap PCB. While that's great in theory, certain compromises had to be made to make that happen, and the hot swap sockets for the ANSI enter key and the pipe key are rotated 90 degrees. It doesn't seem to affect the typing sound or feel too much, but the OCD in me was really bothered by that design decision. I'd have liked to see two different PCBs offered for ANSI and ISO hot swap support, or at least a solder PCB option for either layout, although that's probably a pretty niche audience request and might have increased the overall cost of the board. Another nice to have would have been the ability to configure the board exactly as I wanted it, kind of like how Mode does it on their website. Although the sheer number of vendors stocking the Zoom 75 might have made that a logistical nightmare, I don't really see myself swapping between the knob and the LCD screen, so I'll have the knob just floating around in my already messy room. That being said, the overall affordability of the add-ons is a definite plus, as PVD is usually reserved for high-end custom keyboards that cost 2 to 3 times as much. And now for the ugly. Shipping. It's come up enough in the comments and on the internet that I felt like I should address it, but shipping for the Zoom 75 will run somewhere probably between $20 to $30, which increases the cost beyond the listed price. However, looking back at my previous keyboard purchases, I couldn't find a single one where the cost of shipping was baked into the cost of the board. And it's clear that Meletrix has considered that by offering as many local vendors as I've ever seen in the keyboard hobby. So I can't really ding them for a practice that's essentially universal unless you're buying a board off of Amazon. And if you think the shipping for the Zoom 75 is bad, just wait until you order a board from Swag Keys or Mono-K. So now we're at the bottom line. Should you buy this board? If you're looking for a 75% with pretty much infinite customizability, if the knob or the LCD screen speaks to you, I'd say go for it. The fit and finish are great for the price, and I'm excited to figure out how to program a Bongo Cat onto the screen. The group buy will begin around April 11th, with expected delivery in July of 2023. From what I understand, production is already underway, so this isn't going to be a GMK type wait situation. But while you wait, check out some more keyboard content here. I'm MakerMods, and I'll catch you in the next video.